Hi everyone, I'm Dale Schlegel, owner of Tailored Insurance Solutions. I am here with Shelby Leight, and this is today's episode of Tuesdays with Tailored. Thank you so much for coming on the show. You're a real estate agent.
I am.
Obviously,
Mhm.
and everybody knows a lot of real estate agents. So I am very close to you. I feel like I've known
Yeah.
you for many years. Shelby's one of the first real estate agents that I met in the area through networking.
Mhm.
So I think the goal today is kind of just tell us a little bit about you. So
Okay.
how did you get in? I mean, I know the answer to this, but how did you get into real estate?
So I actually got into real estate 8 years ago. Prior to real estate, I owned a construction company with my ex-husband, and the construction company and the marriage were ending, and my broker was my landlord.
Okay.
So I went to her and said, hey, unfortunately, we're going to have to break our lease, and we are going to, change everything.
Mhm.
Sorry. And she said to me, well, what are you going to do? I said, I have no idea.
Mhm.
I'm just written a resume. And she said, well, why don't you give me your resume? And then she sent me this little quiz thing that Keller Williams used,
Okay.
and came back with, do you want a job? And going through a divorce? Yes, please.
Yeah.
I absolutely want a job. So I actually started with her as an administrative assistant for her team,
Okay.
learned all of the back end of real estate,
Mhm.
and then from there realized that I could do this,
Mhm.
and went and got my license the following year, and I've been doing it for 8 years now.
Wow. So 8 years in, what's
Mhm.
something that you wish that somebody would have told you as you were getting in? Like, what would be some advice to somebody getting into the industry that maybe at this point you were like, wow, I really wish I knew that?
So one of the things that I mentor agents that come onto our team,
Mhm.
and what I try to share with them is the fact that you don't just get your license and everybody starts to call you, because like you said, there are hundreds and hundreds of us. We're everywhere.
Yep.
But you need to establish yourself. And again, networking for you and I,
Yes,
right? Like
yes.
it's who you know and the other people that you can connect them with,
Mhm.
and the people you surround yourself by.
Mhm.
So that's something that I try to explain to agents as they're coming into the real estate world. Even your friends and family. I've had agents that their family didn't use them because they didn't
Right.
have confidence yet in them.
Yeah.
But that's where, if you get with a good brokerage and you get the training and so forth, then, hopefully you have that support network around you to help you as you're new and learning things.
Yeah. So obviously when you're purchasing a house, it's probably one of the, if not the biggest, it is one of the biggest transactions you're ever going to make in your life.
Correct.
And it's a long-term commitment. So you need to make sure that the realtor you're using is
Mhm.
somebody trustworthy. But I think one of the things that a lot of people overlook is you want a realtor that is connected.
Absolutely.
And I don't know any realtor that's more connected than you. And what I mean by that is, Shelby, you owned a contracting company, so you know
Right.
that end of things. Kind of, not that you're a home inspector or doing the repairs yourself, but you might be able to shed a different light on some things, or really kind of look at properties differently.
Right. Well, it's funny. I can actually say I've been in the housing industry since I was 16 years old, working in a lumber yard,
Okay.
and then worked for Home Depot for 13 years,
Mhm.
and then moved into construction itself. So I have a lot of contacts,
Mhm.
a lot of, contractors that I know that can help fix your home up before you sell it, can help you fix up that home after you buy it.
Mhm.
And then, like you said, other people that I have connections with, whether it's insurance agents or loan officers
Yeah.
or home inspectors and so forth.
And
Yes.
not only just the purchasing process of those types of professions, but different therapists,
Mhm.
tax specialists. Any connection throughout life that you're going to need,
Right.
Shelby knows. So,
and that's funny. You're right, though, because when you move into a new area, especially, you need a chiropractor,
right.
you need a dentist, you need a doctor,
Landscapers, across the board. You need a ton of connections, and having a realtor that values the networking in an area is extremely important, because you I know as a new homeowner, when I was in the market to buy, I didn't want to be buying a home and then trying to find trustworthy contractors in the area.
Right.
So definitely having a real estate agent that can help with that connection is huge.
Yeah, I actually, excuse me, I actually have a website dedicated for my clients that gives them contacts in the area for certain things. And I don't want to say preferred vendors, because there's multiple vendors. I mean, I love you, Dale. You are one of my top insurance agents, right? But, there are certain aspects of, like a chiropractor, it's going to be very territorial in regards to that. So I have multiple different vendors on this website that my clients can go, oh, let me look and see who Shelby knows. So yeah, that was something that I started for 2022.
That's
so
great.
It's all
so we can look
set
out
up and
for
ready.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's great. Now you have other news for 2022, right?
I do, yes. So as I had said, I gotten into real estate based off of my divorce. And with that, I kind of have that now as a niche where a lot of people will refer people that are going through divorce, because it's this, whether you need someone to hold your hand and walk you through it, or you're running alongside them because they're trying to restart their life. Back in 2017, I had written a book on how to buy a home after the big split. And I've been recently, sadly, a lot with COVID, a lot of marriages didn't make it.
Yeah.
And so I just wrote a book that after the holidays are done, I will be releasing in 2022, called Breaking Up the House is So Hard to Do. And it's your survival guide to helping you figure out, and maybe not even sell. It might be that one of the, partners is going to take over the house. So there's all these different tips and things.
Transitioning.
Correct. Right. So I partnered with a attorney and a title company and kind of went through all of the processes, and we're going to have that available in 2022. And
where are you saying where that's going to be available? How it's going to be available?
Well, so it will definitely be available on my website to be downloaded. It'll be probably on LinkedIn and things of that sort. And then my broker is actually trying to talk me into putting it on Amazon, but I don't know if I'm going to, so we'll see. Because I want to offer a service, and that's to help people.
Yeah. Okay. That's right, and that's what you're about. I mean, that's what your connection with people in general. I think you're very approachable. You're an extremely just reasonable person, and I think it's tough to find somebody, I think, that you can trust in kind of all aspects of life. And you're one of those people for me. And I hope that this interview conveys that to everybody watching, that through the big steps of your life, whether it's going through a divorce or purchasing your first home or purchasing a home that now you have kids, so you need to get a larger home. All those big changes in life. I mean, having the relationship and trust in somebody like you to walk through that process is invaluable.
Well, thank you. I'm excited because going into 8 years, I'm now seeing the clients that I first started with 8 years ago getting ready to upgrade.
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden they've got 3 kids where they only had 1 at the beginning. So it's fun to be their realtor for life.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what you are. I mean, the connection that you make with people, I see it constantly. So that is amazing that you're a realtor and a friend for life. I mean, you really
Thank you.
You really help your clients out, which is amazing. And that goes from like I said, the referrals and bringing in all of your connections to make sure that you're keeping in touch with those people. So that's great. What is one thing because obviously, I mean, real estate wasn't your first choice,
right?
What's one thing that you've learned from this business venture that you're in that really has kind of changed your life?
So back probably 2 years into selling real estate, I had a family that immediately went under contract on their home, and then we couldn't find them a home. And they had children with some, disabilities that I was stressing. I was so stressed out that I drove my client nuts.
Okay.
And this client looked at me and said, and I'm a woman of faith, and said, Shelby, God is going to give us a home. You've got to stop. You've got to stop worrying because you're driving us crazy. And I appreciated that advice, because at that very moment, I realized that I don't have control of any aspect of how my client is going to act, how the other side is going to act. And so I need to remain calm, cool, and collected and do what I do well, which is have conversations with people, negotiate with people, and kind of take the emotion out of it.
Yep.
And so for the last 6 years, the transaction is very personal to me, but it's not emotional for me.
Okay.
It's more of, what do we need to do? Let's, clarify what needs to happen.
Right.
And then we go from there. And I have had through the years some emotional clients that, again, whether
It's
they
an emotional process overall.
It is. I mean, especially in this market. I mean, I have one client that I wrote up 9 offers before their first one was sold or was accepted. We get multiple offers within 48 hours, and the seller's like, well, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? There's so many here. And just being able to say, okay, well, this offer is going to allow you this, and this offer is going to give you time to find a new home. And, so just kind of walking them through the transition of what it is. I need to be calm, cool, and collected.
Yeah. It's definitely an emotional process overall. And having a experienced real estate agent that can keep you level-headed throughout it is definitely helpful.
It's really important. Yeah. And if you're looking to, hire a real estate agent, because whether you're selling or if you're a buyer, as a buyer, you have right to representation as well. You don't want to just be calling the listing agent and saying, hey, can I go see this house? It's important that you understand, yes, that agent could be a dual agent and could cover both sides, but they've already established that relationship with the seller.
Right.
And they have a fiduciary responsibility, hopefully, to them that now you're going to have a hard time. So, whether you're looking to list your home or buy a home, you should absolutely interview your agent. Are they part-time? Because if you've got a part-time agent right now in this time of season and the way that houses are quickly going, if they're working at their other job, they're not responding to you. So, how long have they been in the business? And talk to past clients. Like I always clarify with my clients when we're done, can I use you as a reference? Will you give me a review?
Right.
So
reviews are huge, and you have a ton of them.
I'm very blessed that, my clients support me as much as I try to support them. So
you said that you're blessed. You're a religious person. So if you don't mind me asking about that, I know each year you have a word.
I do.
This is kind of through prayer, I guess. You get this word, and that gives you your drive for that year and on. So have you
gotten
found your word?
2022's word?
2022's?
Oh, yes. And I'm honestly a little not sure what it's going to be, but it's health.
Okay.
My word for 2022 is health, and just for reference of previous years, my word each year started right after my divorce. And the words have been things from joy to impactful to clarity. I mean, there's always something that kind of helps me stay focused for my new year. And in 2022, it's health. So focusing on my own personal health more, but not even personalized, but also business-wise, and even mentally, be able to stop, breathe, and be calm.
Good.
So we'll see. Hopefully, everything goes well with my health in 2022.
Hopefully.
There's the prayer.
Have a lot going on for 2022, so that's a good thing. Is there anything that, like we said, people know a ton of real estate agents. What specifically as an agent, what type of people do you like working with? Do you like working with new family? I mean, I know you will work with anybody.
Right.
And you're licensed. You can work in where, Pennsylvania?
Yeah, I'm only licensed in
okay.
Pennsylvania. But one of the great things about working with me is you work with a team.
Yeah.
So I am part of the Vicky Landis Rental team. And there are currently, there might be 17 of us now. There's some that are still working on getting their licenses.
Okay.
But we have buyer's agents, we have listing agents, we have new construction, we have someone that works with all of our renters, we do land and luxury we're part of, all of it. Okay. So it's kind of, and because we are in such a vast area, we'll cover Bucks, Montgomery, Northampton, Lehigh, Berks, Chester County, because we kind of dabble everywhere. And then we have a team administratively that helps us as well. So it's not a single agent me. There's so many people supporting me in the background that I don't have to worry about, paperwork and things of that sort. I get to just do what I do best and take care of my client.
Right. Okay.
So.
Okay. That's so. We can obviously look out for your book coming out.
Thank you.
And we definitely will, and hopefully we can push that for you as well.
Appreciate
and
it.
Maybe we can interview it again in the future, a little bit more about the book, and when you're going to do your book signings. And,
electronically.
So, I mean, speaking of that, I mean, not that I want to get into COVID too much here, but obviously the real estate market was extremely hectic last year with everything changing. That traveled into this year. Now there's a new variant out there, whatever.
Yeah.
But what going forward would you expect? I mean, are you expecting things to be across the table for signings again?
We have gotten back to
or?
that. I mean, it's definitely, we learned in 2020 that you can actually sell a house without actually walking into it. I mean, I had people buying houses and they weren't getting to see it until they got the keys to it.
Right.
And we can still do virtual showings if there's a discomfort for a seller.
Okay.
I mean, that's all things that can be, again, with the lack of inventory, the seller right now is in control of how they want to go about.
Right.
So, we can negotiate that, but we are going back to in-person signings and things. Currently, as of right now, if the whole, you don't have to have a mask. Like it's kind of following the CDC guidelines of everything else. Okay. So, and we still are cautious in wiping down things after we touch them and things of that sort, just out of respect for,
but it's not as strict as it was, and
correct.
Things seem to be being a little, I mean, inventory wise, better than it was? Are we looking?
So what we're kind of
seeing,
seeing,
season right now.
It is right. Well, it is, and there's still, inventory is still low, but we saw such a demand with little inventory a few months ago that homes were going $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 over asking. Like that was your starting point. Yeah. This is where you started your bid, and then you moved forward from there. And we're not seeing that now. We're actually seeing some sellers that have gotten a little overzealous and have put their houses on high. Okay. And now they're doing price reductions. And that's, again, that's where a seasoned agent is so important. Right. Because, I had a client this couple months ago that thought their house should be higher because their neighbor went on and their neighbor was higher. And when you looked at the square footage and you looked at the differences, their house went under contract in 48 hours. Their neighbor's house was still on the market 2 weeks later and had to do a price reduction. Right. So it's just knowing where the market is and where it's going and being smart about it, because anyone can tell you, oh yes, I'll just list your house for that. Right. But if they're not honest with you and now you've been sitting there, you're gonna lose out. It's the same with for sale by owners. Sorry if you're a for sale by owner, but it's a proven fact that by working with a real estate agent, you will in the long run get more money for your home, even though you're trying to negotiate those commissions. Right. Right.
Makes sense. It makes sense. Plus, again, that stress level, having an experienced agent, overall, is extremely important. So, anything else you want to add? I mean, how can
this is so exciting. I've been doing interviews this whole year for other businesses, and I appreciate you taking the time to interview me.
Thank you.
This was really cool for me.
Thank you for sitting down with me, and hopefully, again, we can hopefully get you in and do something when your book comes out. We can talk more
I would
about that.
appreciate that. And I'll just quickly make a plug for Dale here. I mean, we've known each other for years.
Mm-hmm.
You have always taken really good care of my clients. You are honest with them. If, they're with somebody that they might not be able to get the same rate, you tell them straight out. But that's happened very far and few between. So,
It happens,
so thank you for taking such good care of them. He's awesome.
Thank you. So again, thank you for being on. What about, I can put your contact info linked down. What's the easiest way to contact you though?
You can contact me either by my phone number, which is 215-892-2178. You can email me at shelbysellshomespa@gmail.com, or you can go on my website, which is shelbysellshomespa.com.
Awesome. Well, thank you again
so
much, Shelby.
Thank you.
And everybody, that is this episode of Tuesdays with Tailored. Tune in next time and we'll have some more connections for you. Thanks for joining us.
Bye, guys.